Hi there, you little chicken nuggets, and welcome to GROWTV.
Welcome to GROWTV. Hosted by Carl, where we have fun with our friends, talk about Jesus, and go over everything the Bible has to offer. Now, once again, welcome to GROWTV.
Hey there, kids, how are ya? Oh, hey. So you're probably wondering why I got my eyes shut. That's simply because of one reason. As I am sure you are fully aware, I have decided to live my life as a full robot. My journey from human to robot is about 93%. I am so close. A lot of people keep asking me, hey Carl, why do you want to become a robot? Well, that's easy. They're strong, they got a computer for the brain, so they're like really smart. They have no muscles, so they never get tired, and they can consume a 5-pound bucket of nuggets in 10 minutes. Oh, and they also have super duper vision, like lasers. I actually heard that some robots can stare from millions of light years away. Isn't that incredible? So today I'm going to show you my new invention, my brand new robot glasses. What do you think?
I love them.
Who is that?
Carl, it's me, Jada.
Oh, hey Jada, how's it going?
Good. Are those robot glasses?
They sure are.
Can you see out of those?
I sure can't.
Nice. Why are you wearing those?
I don't know. I want to be a robot, but it seems like I'm failing.
Why do you say that?
I don't know. I just want to be a full robot, you know? Like a Terminator type of indestructible. Like super duper vision, but I can't see with those things. I put them in my robot body. Yeah, I'll keep wearing these.
Yeah, well, I think you're on the right path, and it's okay if you can't see those glasses. You know why?
Because you're gonna pay for me to have robotic eye surgery? So I shoot lasers out my eyes?
As I was saying, you don't need super high-tech robot glasses to see clearly because Jesus teaches us how to see things the right way.
Do you care to expand on that?
Sure. So I was reading in John chapter 9 today, and I read the story of Jesus and the blind man. And this man hasn't been able to see for his whole life.
Oh wow, that can't be easy.
This man was known in the city by almost everyone. Every day people would pass him on the street because he would sit there and ask people for money and for help. One day, Jesus and his disciples were walking by, and the disciples asked a question. They asked Jesus who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind.
Wait, are they saying that the only reason they think he's blind is because him or his parents messed up somehow?
Yep.
What? That's messed up. What kind of question is that?
Well, back in the day, there were people who believed that the reason why some people had certain issues or struggles was because of their sin or their parents' sin.
Wow, what did you just say?
He said, neither this man nor his parents sinned, said Jesus, but this happened so that the works of God might be displayed in him.
What happened next?
Jesus then spit on the ground, made some mud, then rubbed the mud on the man's eyes.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Continue.
Jesus then told the man to wash himself in a pool, and guess what? The man was able to see with eyes for the very first time.
No way! Time to celebrate.
The thing is, not everyone wanted to celebrate.
What?
There were these religious leaders called Pharisees that didn't like that Jesus did what he did.
Excuse me, how? This is a miracle. A man's life was changed forever.
I know, but it drove these people nuts and bolts. And that's kind of where I learned an important lesson in the story.
What's that?
Well, in this passage, Jesus tells us he is the light of the world.
Like a light bulb?
Kinda. You see, the world is filled with darkness, and that darkness is sin. Our choices that are bad and against what God has in mind for us. But Jesus is telling us that he is the light. He will be the one who can help us see through the darkness.
Oh wow, I walked around in the dark. It stinks. I almost stubbed my toe in something.
It's terrible! horrible. So what Jesus was talking about was that even if we are able to use our eyes to see, that's not the most important seeing he wants us to do. Jesus taught us that we need to learn how to see things God's way, and we can only do that through Jesus, the true light.
So like the Pharisees, they were able to see that the man was healed, but they couldn't see past their own stubbornness. To see God's love and power, right?
You're absolutely right. Jesus changes not only how we see ourselves, but the whole world and everything in it.
I love that. Side note, I think it's kind of cool that Jesus liked to play in the mud too.
Hey there, kids! Today's big idea is Jesus changes how we see things. So let's say that in our best robot voice on the count of 3, okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Jesus changes how we see things. Perfect job, everybody. Now make sure to tune in next week because I have a feeling Carl is pretty close to figuring out this whole robot thing. See you then.
Thank you for watching, and tune in next week for a new episode of GROWTV.
Kids! What up? Hey kids, welcome to KCTV, where we want to make great friends and learn about Jesus. And today we've got a story about Jesus that, well, it's kind of gross. So one day Jesus is out doing his thing, he's teaching people, he's healing people, he's doing his whole thing. And all these crowds keep showing up everywhere, like, who is this guy? Who is this guy? And somebody comes to Jesus that was born blind. Bing! Can't see, blind, his whole life. This blind beggar hears about Jesus, and so he comes to Jesus. And somebody in the crowd asks him a weird question. They're like, are you blind because you sinned, or are you blind because your parents sinned? And like, that seems weird. Like, he's blind because he can't see, right? But back then, they thought that sometimes people that were born, blind or with other physical ailments, they were born that way because of a past sin from their family, which is weird. So Jesus is like, nah, dude, it's not about that. That's not why you're blind. And then does something gross. Jesus actually bends down, spits in the dirt, mixes it up until it's like this big clump of mud, takes that mud, that spit mud, and rubs it on the dude's eyes. Like, gross. But it's Jesus, so it's not gross, right? It's holy spit. Can I say holy spit? It's holy spit. Then Jesus tells him to go wash his eyes off in the pool of Siloam. Wherever that is. The pool of Siloam. So the guy goes, washes his eyes, and then, you guessed it, bing! He could see! Jesus healed a blind man. Which is really cool that Jesus was able to heal that man. And then later, this other weird story happens where some of the religious leaders were like angry with this guy. And they're like, how did that happen? It couldn't be Jesus because Jesus is bad. And the guy's like, I was blind. I met Jesus. Now I'm not blind. So like, seems pretty legit to me. And then Jesus uses this to teach us about a metaphor, kind of about our own lives too. So just like this man, we're all walking around in the dark. You see, when we have sin in our life, which is when we are making choices that are different than what God wants us to do, it's like that brings darkness. You ever walk around the room in the total dark? You're gonna get hurt. You're gonna walk into a wall. You're gonna kick your toe against a door. Like, you're gonna get hurt. Same thing when we have sin in our life. It's like we're walking around in the dark, like we're blind, and we're gonna get hurt. When we follow Jesus, Jesus says that he is the light in that darkness that keeps us safe, keeps us from hurting ourselves and hurting the people around us. Jesus is the light. He can show us a better way of life. Not only did he want to heal that blind man so he could physically see, but he also wanted to heal that blind man from his sin so that he could live a better life following Jesus. Jesus wants that same thing for us. See, our big idea today is that Jesus changes how we see things. He changes how we look at ourselves, and he changes how we look at the world. Jesus changes how we see things. Have a great week, kids.